Wow, you're watching another one of these? Congratulations. I thought I'd give you a little update on what I've been working on with the Starfield space shooter while I learn JavaScript. Over here, you can see I've actually added a few new enemies to the game. I have several different types, and let's go through them right here. You can see we start by actually defining what their picture is. So on the HTML web page, I've loaded up each of their pictures. Next, I'm defining the object, enemy. Pretty simple. It contains all the basic info that an enemy has, how fast they move, where they are, and most importantly, every enemy has a take damage function. This way, when they get hit with a player's bullet, I can just say that enemy took damage and they run their own damage to reduce their HP. If it happens to be a boss, something special happens. Over here, every game tick, we check a timer, and when the timer runs out, we do the spawn enemy function. I decided to make this to pick a set of enemies that it will spawn over the course of a certain amount of time. So here we have which type of enemy to spawn, and I can spawn a group of seeker enemies. This does every few seconds spawns a bunch of enemies. I have tank enemies, which happen to be coming out right now. They have a little more health, spawns a couple every few seconds. Bouncer enemies, invader enemies, all the same thing, just depending on what enemy. Right now, it's just totally random what it picks, and then it'll just spawn a whole group of that kind of enemy. Every enemy that is spawned, every single one, is put in the enemy array. That way, I can just call all the enemies and say, hey, every enemy, move. Every enemy, whatever they need to do, they're all saved right here. That's how I reference them. After the enemies exist, every frame, every game tick, they are drawn, they are moved for next time. They randomly spawn bullets. As you can see, all the enemies, every once in a while, just shoot a little yellow thing at me. Every single enemy right now is using the same bullet logic, and that's something that will be changed in the next update. The actual movement here, you can see every enemy is called with the move baddie function. Every enemy has their own specific kind of movement. The seeker enemies kind of try to move closer to the player. Tank enemies, they don't do anything. They just go straight down, so they don't have anything special. Bouncers move back and forth, left and right across the entire screen. And when they hit the edge, there they are. They go the other way. Oh, thanks for showing up, guys. Invader enemies, I have them move totally randomly. They pick a direction, and then they move that way for a random interval. Every single direction they go and they move. Sometimes enemies, they need a little help not moving off screen. So when the invader enemies, who might be like on the far right of the screen, if they decide to keep going that direction, I say, oh, no, turn around. The boss enemies code is pretty simple. When it gets to a certain distance on the screen, it stops. And it sits there and waits for you to destroy it. Pretty simple stuff, but I thought it was really neat that I added a few more enemy types, and I wanted to show you how they work. So there you go. Stay tuned for the next episode as I update the player's bullets, because these little green circles are pretty boring. Something to look forward to next time.